another Cute for Teams Champions User Teams Effectively on our new schedule, monthly now. And so it's been a while since we've gotten together, but glad that you are still around. And then, of course, you may have also have joined our newly launched Copilot webinar that started yesterday afternoon. Happy for any feedback. If you did join or see the on-demand, happy for any feedback you got from that. That one is a LinkedIn Live only event as of right now, unlike this one with full Teams experience. So just trying out some different things, trying out a different time, all that stuff. So so I see on the chat, the link to the Copilot one is AK, and I think someone's putting it in there, but ak.ms/cap for Copilot, ak.ms/cap for Copilot. I'm typing it in the chat. So that's the landing page that will give you the link and should stay up to date with the the current link and previous sessions and all that good stuff. We'll try to do it the same way we do for the for these Teams ones. Awesome. So as always, with this being live office hours, if you got questions, we're here for you. I did want to talk through kind of a overall experience of Teams and Teams meetings throughout several different apps in the M365 ecosystem. So I was going to demo that. But before I jump into it, I'll just, pause for either chat or hand raise, see if there's anything super pressing anybody want to talk about first. All right. Certainly interrupt me at any time, but I thought it'd be interesting to talk about a Teams meeting and all the different places that it shows up, because that these days is a pretty nice experience. And I don't know if you've experienced what I'm about to show, but we'll see how this goes. So this might end up being also a commercial for, you guys know me, know I am a lover of the new Outlook. I know there are some on the call and out there in the world that are still warming up to it.
I think we're in the minority, but I love it.
Yeah. So I don't know if this demonstration might help you warm up to it a little more. It's a shame my little avatar doesn't show me, smiling with my tongue-in-cheek comments here, but we'll make do. But when it comes to meetings, so I'm here in Outlook, and I'm going into my calendar, and you see I've got some meetings here now. If I open up this old one, this is some recurring meeting. There's a couple things of interest to me. First is obviously the join button, but the chat button is one that is a direct integration to Teams, right? I can click that and I am taken directly to the chat for that meeting. Okay. And because of how I have my team set, where I say open up any new chats that I click on in a new window, that experience I think is a nice one. It didn't take me all the way over to Teams. It took me specifically to the chat of that meeting. So that's a nice experience. Now I'm going to actually find a different meeting that is a little bit more interesting, I think. I think it's August 25th. Yep. Open this one. Same thing, but this particular meeting I know has the full kind of experience in terms of a meeting recap through Teams Premium Intelligent Recap. So yes, I've got the chat button. I can click that and I get to the chat as usual. But you can see here, right within the meeting, I have a few more things. I've got the meeting recap here. So the recording of that meeting is there for me to open right from from Outlook here. The detailed recap, same goes to the same place. And then I've also got meeting insights, and this can happen on different ones. I feel like I found one earlier that had 3 things. Like, oh, maybe this was it. So meeting insights is also another feature. This is the AI basically pulling other emails that it thinks might be related to this particular meeting. In this case, for instance, like this one is not related. Because I know that happens to be just a email put together for demo purposes, but it's making an attempt. And so in my real life, what I found that this is very useful. And in fact, I get a little worried because I'm actually now starting to depend on this. I'm in a lot of meetings, some of which I get pulled in after the fact or maybe just before the meeting happens. And I have to ask myself, what is this meeting that I'm about to go into? And have started to rely on the meeting insights, and it is correct more than it's wrong in terms of finding an email related to what this meeting is that I'm about to step into. So this has become very useful to me. Going along with that meeting insights piece, I'm going to come back here to, let's find some kind of interesting email here. So this is something I put together, right, with a fictitious, I'm concerned about the project timeline or something to that effect. What I could do here, you see there's a schedule with Copilot button. That will do a bunch of things for me, one of which is obviously bring the people together. It comes up with a title for me based on what it saw in that email, but then it also puts an agenda together. It's making an attempt to put an agenda together based on what it saw and summarizing what the conversation so far. And so I've started to depend on this as well. A lot of my colleagues are using that to schedule these meetings based off an email. And again, me coming blind into some of these meetings, that's becoming essential. So what was nice to have previously is really starting to become instrumental. So that's just a little peek at just AI helping us with understanding what's going on with our meetings. But if I go back to that meeting I was in, that was the September 25th, test 3. It does take us to the recap. So let's go there. We click that. We open up again in its own window, not full-blown Teams, but this is a window dedicated to the recap only. We're seeing all the things that we would expect from a Teams Premium Intelligent Recap. So who talked and when, and then the AI notes for the meeting itself, lots of detail about what's happening, follow-up tasks from that meeting, transcript if we need it. And then, of course, the video itself is here. I can watch it here within Teams, but I can also open it in Stream. And I want to do that because I want to show, again, another entry point where the apps are still trying to keep everything together. So yes, I'm in Stream now. And yes, I have Copilot here in Stream. I could do another recap of this from Stream or ask it questions about the meeting here. But again, you'll notice the Teams button here is, so I might have landed on this meeting video, not because of Teams or anything, but because I was just in my Stream. Like if I go home here, I suspect it'll probably show up. Yeah, there's test 3. This might be where I landed on this particular video. So now though, how do I get back to the original meeting? So here's this Teams drop down recap, open it up, and I'm back here. So, and hopefully I'm not clicking too much, but what I'm trying to show is, but from Outlook to Teams to stream and back and forth, they're all participating or agreeing on, kind of the central point of this meeting, wherever I may be. And the other place where this shows up that might not be as obvious is if you're still OneNote lovers like me, when you're in these meetings, you're taking your notes in OneNote. And if you are likely using the meeting details tab, which has been upgraded in the last few months. And so this is showing me today, right? So I can do that across the different personas I have or accounts I have, but I'm in the correct one today. And I want to go back to that August 25th. There's my test 3. Let me put in the details so that I can have this meeting. Now I'm actually going to first go back to today, right? For a meeting like, let's see what happened. Go to the day, and that's this. Let's say this cute session. I can add the details of today's session. Now, the recording isn't finished for this. The transcript of the meeting notes aren't finished for this. So we would get our typical meeting details, which is the title, a link to the Outlook item, which I find useful. I probably shouldn't have clicked that. I'm kind of going too fast. But message, participants, and then it's ready for my notes. But for a meeting that does have a recap, like the one that we were just looking at, August 25th, test 3, it's pulling in everything. It knows about the recording and giving me a nice link to watch that on stream. Sometimes, depending on your configuration, you'll actually get the embedded video embedded right here to play right within OneNote. It's showing me the summary that we just saw in all of its detail, as well as the task that we just saw. So that's all being pulled in. So OneNote knows all of those recap concepts just the same way Stream did, the same way Outlook did. When this meeting is done and the recap is done and recording and everything, I can come back here and actually do a refresh, and then I will get all of those artifacts in this page automatically updated for me. So again, that's just another place where all of these things are kind of full circle, making themselves known. And again, here, if I link to the Outlook item, I'm taken all the way back to the actual email, where again, we're seeing the recap, the summary, the meeting insights, links to the video recording, all of that good stuff. Okay. There may be another one I'm not even thinking about, but those were the key ones: Outlook meeting, Outlook, Teams, Stream, and OneNote. I suspect Loop could figure into this. On that meeting, I didn't include any notes here. This would be Loop-based notes. That's something that I want to try to see, whether it's this meeting or some other meeting. If I had notes there, I suspect we'd have yet another endpoint for this whole kind of comprehensive, look and feel for our meeting. So that might be another one. But I thought just those alone might be interesting, because to me that's some common scenarios. I interact with this meeting in Outlook. I'm maybe taking notes in OneNote, and of course, I'm hitting the meeting within Teams itself. So I thought that was useful to see in case you didn't had not experienced that before. And I see the question about, will these features in Outlook ever be on the desktop app or only on the web? So I did take a quick peek to see how much of this was there. Most of what I just showed didn't seem to be in the desktop app. In fact, if I go back to that date and I open this up, I think I got meeting. Do I get meeting insights? Well, there's a meeting insights button with the insights over on the side. I'm not seeing that fancy join chat button here. And just the overall, oops, doing too much clicking, but the overall look in general, it's just a lot different. So the question is, will those come to the desktop? The only thing I'd say there from a roadmap perspective, there have been some things being pulled into the desktop app, like for instance, Meeting Insights, but I don't know that all things will find their way there. The big picture is an overall move to new Outlook, and an overall deprecation of what we would call classic Outlook. Now that roadmap is long, right? I mean, Outlook 2016 has still got its typical 10-year support, scenario there. So we're not talking about this going away anytime soon, but uh, I don't know that I would, if you are hoping for your classic Outlook to get all the bells and whistles of new Outlook, I would not expect that in general. I'm not saying that no one has committed to bringing what we just saw over to desktop. I'm not saying that, but I would just say the tea leaves would suggest the innovation certainly is going to come first to new Outlook, and maybe there are certainly going to be some things that are exclusive to new Outlook. So that would be the short answer, and the kind of without really giving you any commitment or any real answer. So yes, I know there are some concerned with their classic Outlook going away, and that's not anything immediate, but the fancy innovations are certainly, can expect to see those more in new Outlook than classic. So just a little overview there of kind of a big picture view of looking at a meeting across all the different things. And I suspect one more place could be Planner if this meeting starts to have tasks in it. That could be a whole other conversation as well. So just kind of thinking through that off the fly. All right. So hopefully that was useful and interesting, and yeah, helpful. I am hoping, I know there are some things coming, and that may be announced later this month. But I suspect by the next time we meet, we'll have a lot to talk about in terms of some UI changes that are expected for Teams. That should be pretty cool. In the chat, I heard breakout rooms. I heard there's a new feature that users can select breakout rooms that not only the organizer can select. So basically the user can decide which breakout rooms they want to go to. It sounds like what you're saying there. I haven't experienced that myself. And so I'm wondering how I might even demo that here. But I see the thumbs up from Mike there. So it sounds like you're saying there is a feature for moving between rooms on your own, which is cool. So in fact, Stacy, that might be something we might want to work on for a demo, and prep that ahead of time, some rooms, and assign you to it and all that good stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if I can show that on the fly here.
Well, I did find the item or something like the item in the roadmap. I'm not sure if this is the exact one that Glenn's referring to, but a new setting enabling meeting participants to move between breakout rooms. So I think this must be it, but it says it's slated for December. So it doesn't appear to be released yet, but when it is, we can certainly put a demo together.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, December. I was talking with a customer once, and we basically had talked about how we talk about things in terms of weeks and months now with all the changes versus years. And so that just made me smile. And of course my avatar didn't show it, but December 2024 seems so long when you think about how many updates could roll out between now and then. back in the day, that didn't used to be the case. December 24 would have been like, oh, that's coming. That's just
Right.
around the corner. So that's interesting. Um, Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are continuing to use the roadmap to keep up with what's going on between the roadmap and the message center that your admins have access to. Those are the place to be for figuring things out. And then, of course, tech community is the other place where you'll find stuff across different things. I actually had a blog post posted here recently for Copilot over on the Copilot blog there. So that just gives you some ideas about how to create demo content using Copilot that you can then use to demo Copilot. So for those of you who are doing trainings for your users on different things, just remember that Copilot can be your friend for generating, whether it's generating emails, generating meeting transcripts, generating fictitious Excel documents. Remember that you can use Copilot to help you do that as well. So good stuff there. Checking the chat here. Yep. So Mike's posted the contents of the breakout rooms roadmap item. So good stuff there. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one to demo for sure. Good stuff. Got a few more minutes here. If there are any other questions or things you might want to see, let me know. Close some of these windows here. Okay, I saw some typing there. All right. Anything else? Glad to see y'all again, after a while. I suspect we'll meet, mid-October. And I was trying to think. So Ignite is in November, so we won't have any Ignite announcements, but I'm sure we'll have another What's New in Teams that'll be published. So there'll probably be a lot to discuss for our next session for sure. Meeting monthly. There's just a lot going on in over a 30-day period. So, and then of course bring your questions as well, and we'll do our best to help with that. I see some folks typing, so I'll give a second in case there's a question there. Oh, just a nice little message there. So good. Yep. Yeah. Again, sorry, my camera crapped out on me at the last minute, but hopefully the avatars were sufficient. So good stuff. All right. Well, again, aka.ms/Q for Teens, and that'll take you to the YouTube repository for all of these, including today's, and of course, aka.ms/cap for Copilot if you want to follow that content as well. But otherwise, we're happy to see everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. Good stuff.